Hi, this is a new chapter of this series, and in this class we will be covering IP address representation. Also, what is the use of IP addresses in the network world? Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, or IANA, has rights to allocate the IP address to regional internet registries. There are 5 regional internet registries available across the globe. Regional Internet Registries provide the IP address to local service providers, and local service providers allocate the IP address to end customers. Let's understand what is the use of the IP address in the computer network world. Consider this design: host A and host B are connected with each other, and they want to exchange some data. However, host A and host B do not know each other. In the computer network world, without an IP address, the computer cannot talk with any other device. The IP addressing is also called logical addressing. As soon as you assign an IP address on both the computers, they will be able to talk with each other. Most of you are very much aware of how to assign IP addresses to the computer. So, let's assign the IP address to host A and host B. Host A IP address is 192.168.1.1. and host B IP address is 192.168.1.2. Remember, in this class we only learn IPv4 addressing, not IPv6 address. We will have a separate class for IPv6 addressing. Okay, what is an IP address and why is it so important in the computer network world? IPv4 address is a 32 bits address and it has 4 octets. We generally use dotted notation to represent the value of each octet. Each octet value could be from 0 to 255, which is in decimal format. Each octet represents 8 bits. The minimal decimal number of the octet is 0 if all the bits are off. The maximum decimal number of the octet is 255 if all the bits are on. If the binary value of the octet is 1, it means the value 1 represents the network. If the binary value of the oct is 0, it means the value 0 represents the host. How do we consider which one represents the network and which one represents the host? Okay, let's take this example. Generally, an IP address is a decimal representation which is quite easy to read and remember. Because we cannot remember binary numbers. Let me take an IP which is 192.168.100.101. Now let's start converting each octet in binary form. We always count octets from left to right. The first octet is 192, second is 168, third is 100, and fourth is 101. If we convert the first octet from decimal to binary, the binary value will be 11000000. If we convert the second octet from decimal to binary, the binary value will be 10101000. If we convert the third octet from decimal to binary, the binary value will be 01100100. If we convert the fourth octet from decimal to binary, the binary value will be 01100101. You all must learn how to convert the decimal value into binary format and from binary to decimal format. Let me share one example which will help you to understand. Let's consider we need to convert the value 176 in binary format. The golden rule is just double the value within the octet. Since we are talking about IP addresses, hence each octet has 8 bits binary value. So the value will be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. Let me keep 0 for each bit in the octet and will turn on the value if applicable. Is 128 less than 176? Yes, it is. Now we can turn on the value. In the next section, we need to choose value 64 and make addition with value 128. Now, we need to check whether the total of values 128 and 64 is less than 176 or greater than 176. If the total is greater than 176, we need to skip this value and keep it turned off. If the total is less than 176, then we need to turn on the binary value. Now check this, The total value of 128 and 64 is 192, which is greater than 176. Hence we'll not consider this value and keep this binary turned off. Let's check the next value, which is 32. Now the same formula we have to apply here. Now the total is 160, which is less than 176. We can turn on the value. Still we didn't reach the value 176, and we need a few more numbers to be added to reach 176. Let's check the next value and add value 16 into 160. The total is 176, which is equal to the value 176. In this case, we need to turn on the bit. The rest of the value will be turned off. This is how we convert the decimal value to binary value. Now it's your turn to convert the value 236 into binary format. Meanwhile, I will pause the video for 30 seconds. I hope you have done a wonderful job. We have three types of addresses in the computer network world: network address, broadcast address, and host address. Network address is generally used while performing routing. It simply represents a piece of the network where all the devices are members of the same network. Broadcast address is used to send data to all the network devices. For example, when you are planning to send something to all the users, but you do not have time to send the same thing one by one. In this case, you can use the broadcast address. Host address is generally an identity of the device. The device IP address is considered as a host address. See you in the next class, and we'll learn more.